Hi everyone, I'm Tim Johnson, a Business Development Manager here with SciAps. I'm joined today by my colleague, Brendan Connors. Hello. Thank you, Brendan. We're going to talk today a little bit about what we call our RoHS product, or many people will refer to it as consumer products.
Yep.
So Brendan, why is this important for everybody? Why do we care?
Yeah, so we're making an XRF analyzer that measures different elements, including those that might be hazardous to people, like lead, cadmium, mercury, and a handful of others. And there are a lot of different laws all over the world that govern how much of these things, or restrict these things in all kinds of consumer products, including like electronics, children's toys, and computer parts, and a lot of other things.
Great. So yeah, some things that we actually have some fun toys up here today, and some examples. These are, of course, children's clothing. And so Brendan, what do we see on this shirt here?
Yeah, so with an XRF analyzer, you can scan really quickly for some of those elements that I mentioned, particularly lead and cadmium, which can show up in all sorts of products, but particularly you don't want in anything that's aimed for kids. So we have a shirt right here. We're just going to test the button on it and see what we get. So you just point and shoot. The analyzer has a little camera inside, so you can position it right over the button or whatever else it is that you want to test. And so have it set to run a pretty short test here, just to scan for the main elements that might be in here. Okay, so we're done. And
so yeah, it looks like we've got about 27 parts per million of lead in that button, which would be well above the recommendation by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So, so that's lead. What else do we see? What other elements might we encounter?
Yeah, so we're looking for a bunch of different elements that might be hazardous in our consumer products testing package here. And so if we see lead that's above a certain level, we'll flag it as red. And then we look for a bunch of other elements too, like cadmium, mercury. So we can take a look at another thing. It's just another set of kids' clothes. Test the logo on here. So again, just position it, pull the trigger, and take a quick test. And yeah, so we picked up some cadmium in this one. And then we're flagging that on the screen as above the regulation threshold. But then we're also looking for other elements as well: mercury, cadmium, bromine, a few others.
So we've covered clothes, but we can quickly bounce from one product to the next. We've got a circuit board here, and I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. Don't have to do anything to the instrument. The instrument's going to automatically detect the change in the material, the matrix that we're dealing with.
Yeah, so the analyzer will automatically pick the best calibration for the kind of sample that you're testing. So you can go from plastic toys to clothes to computer parts to metals, solders, brass fittings, and it'll always pick the right calibration for what you want to be testing. Okay, so yeah, so we tested that, and we do see some bromine show up, usually as a flame retardant, and it flags a few other elements as maybe near levels of concern, but aren't above the regulation limits.
Very good. So again, the X-550 for RoHS, the X-505 for RoHS, the X-5 for RoHS all have this package available, and a great tool to ensure that consumer products are safe for your children and for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate you joining me.
Thank you, Tim.